And there are so many conversations and conferences going on at the moment about compassion and self-compassion. And I listened to someone who talked about the connection between compassion and shame, and saying that they are opposites. And I never thought about that before. And for me it brings up the idea that, when you feel a deep shame that you don't even connect to, it's difficult to feel compassion. But if you recognize it and you learn to feel compassion, not only in a general sense, compassion for life, for people, for whatever is happening, but really compassion for the self, then you can break that evil cycle of feeling shame. And I think we are all, for many reasons, not only having followed religious paths, but I think shaming comes into our life very early. Even our parents, the way they try to correct us is using a language of shaming in an unaware way. But so it filters into our consciousness very early. And so how can we filter out this language of shame, and not the least how we talk to ourselves in our minds? I think that's very important. So let's dedicate this Fridays for Silence for filtering out shame and being kind to ourselves. So find yourself a comfortable position, physically, mentally, emotionally. And feel that you are the one who can take care of yourself primarily. And create a space of care for yourself. And for that, put aside everything else that goes on in your life at this moment. So you create a clean space for yourself. And then bring in the feeling of caring in a very pure sense, when caring is not confused with egocentricity or selfishness, but the basic human caring that we need, not only as children, but we need on an everyday basis, a sense of being cared for. And it starts with the relationship with myself. Because it's easy to demand a lot of the self. Because it's in my recording, it's in my belief system that I'm a grown-up. I should be able to tolerate to a certain extent the hardships of life. And then we don't see that it's a voice in myself that is pushing me to try to be something
that is hard to live up to. So can I start from an attitude of friendliness with myself, like a best friend? And if your best friend is having a hard time, how would you speak to your best friend? How would you support a friend? So invite that kind of friendship into relationship with yourself. Bring in kindness into your awareness. How does kindness feel in relationship to the self? And it's kindness that is needed. It's not something extra or luxurious. And ask yourself, what kind of kind words do I need at this time? What kind of support do I need to be able to manage whatever goes on and whatever tasks are in front of me? So often just a smile or a word of support, encouragement can make a huge difference in a day, especially when it comes unexpectedly, maybe from someone I never met before. And it sparks a hope that gives me new life. So can I do that for myself, unexpectedly, just being supportive, to help the clouds of doubt to diminish, because clouds of doubt can easily surround me, and I don't realize it until it's heavy clouds of rains of doubt. It's easy to question myself, and this questioning creates doubt, and it makes me unstable. And the next step, it comes into relationships in the form of bitterness or sarcasm. But I don't need that. Nobody needs that. We need friendliness and kindness. So let's just sit with the feeling of being friendly to the self in silence for a moment. So with friendliness and simplicity and kindness, let me lift the cloak of shame that I have been carrying, thinking that I have to live up to a lot of things that actually does not apply to being me. So have that compassion and that love for being me, understanding that it's enough to be what I really am already. And when I can lift that burden of shame, it's easy to be kind to my surrounding. Because shame is just a creation with ideas of thinking I have to be so many things that is too much for me, but doesn't really apply. It's not written in my script. It's something I added. So let me come back to myself for what I really am. My pure self, my original self. And become light. So thank you.